Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the kitchen. For those of you who know me, you know that I always enjoy a good old-fashioned cocktail. For those of you who also know me, you know that I love pork belly. Well, today we're going to be combining the two by doing an old-fashioned braised pork belly. Now, in order to do that, we're going to get one pork belly, one onion, and one carrot. Dice all that up. Not the pork belly. We're also going to get some of our favorite seasoning, and for our old-fashioned flavors, we're going to get 4 ounces of whiskey, about a cup of old-fashioned mix, about an eighth of a cup of bitters, as well as a half cup of sweetened lime juice, just to add that acidic flavor to it. Now, because old-fashions also call for oranges, I also recommend getting one orange, quartering it up. This is something I've never done before, so we're going to both learn together. You ready? The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to season our pork belly on both sides. Then we're going to get some butcher's twine and roll it all up and tie it so that way it keeps its shape. Yep. All you want to do is just roll it up. We're going to get butcher's twine and we're just going to tie this up more towards the end. And what we'll do is we're going to come across like this, and then we're just going to tightly roll this all the way up until we're back in the front of our pork belly. Then we're going to tie this up together. Now we can start braising this off. We're going to do a quick little sweat, tablespoon of olive oil, vegetables. We're going to add our oranges. Next, we're just going to add our pork. I had a little extra, so we made 2. Now we're just going to start adding all of our liquids, starting with our whiskey. Old-fashioned mix, bitters, and last but not least, our sweetened lime juice. Then we're going to put just enough water to almost cover it all up so we can let that start to braise. Now that it's boiling, we're going to put it down to a simmer and we're going to skim off all this nastiness that floats to the top over the next 1.5 to 2 hours. Now we're going to remove this from the pot. Once again, we're going to continue to let this all cook down until it's thick. Then we'll strain it at the end so that way everything can concentrate all together and have a really good flavor to it. Now we're going to strain this and let it cool off for a little bit and go from there. Now we're going to pour this in and let it go overnight. Try to get out as much of that air as possible, so that way this can sit in there. And my recommendation is just flip it every couple hours to make sure that this kind of completely gets all that juice all around it, so it's going to marinate, and then we'll mess with it tomorrow. It's time to take this out. Everything's kind of solidified, and we're going to put this in a little glass container so that way we can cut off all of these strings. Next, we're going to get some color on this by putting this in the broiler and moving it around until it gets a nice kind of crust all around. So that's what we want, but all around. So just keep turning it as you go. We're just going to cut this up into thin slices. And look at that. We're going to pan fry this up, get a little bit of that juice, so we can have this crispy, but also very juicy. Now we're going to get a little bit of this juice that's all gelatinous on the bottom. We're just going to let that all melt down. As if we don't have enough fat in there, we're going to add a little knob of butter and just take that off the heat and let that all melt down. And with our sauce being all nice and beautiful, I'm going to pour this right over the top. Toasted garlic bread. And let's get some of this right over the top. And of course, if you want to throw on other things, fried egg, greens, whatever you want, really. We can go from there. But the important thing is that we're trying the pork as is. All right, now we get to try this. Okay, so that's really good. It's got some bright flavors. You got your acid, your orange, a little sweetness to it. Of course, throw a little salt on it to balance that out. Really good altogether, though. Of course, you can throw this over like some white rice. You can throw it in a ramen bowl if you wanted to, or in this case, like in a sandwich, steamed buns, quite a bit. overall, I'm pretty happy with this. It's soft, it's tender, and of course you do have that little bit of crunch from that pan fry. That sauce, really good on top of that. With that being said, hope you learned something today. Make sure that you follow me on social media. Chef Steven Gonzalez on Facebook, Chef Steve Gonz on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, or go to chefstevengonzalez.com, get a copy of my cookbook, get your grub on, and we're gonna catch you later. So yeah,